come on into Coleman Coliseum for a top 20 contest as the 19th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide looks to defend home court against the number 2 South Carolina Gamecocks. And we welcome you courtside here at Coleman. Gray Robertson alongside my partner Richard Hendricks. Nathan Brown will join us in just a moment. And Richard, my gosh, what a fun basketball game this is going to be. 2 ranked foes, Alabama trying to take down South Carolina for the first time in years.
Well, these are 2 really good teams. A big-time top 25 matchup here in Tuscaloosa. Should be a lot of fun.
Well, and Alabama's going to have to try and pull the upset without Sarah Ashley Barker. They played well in their last matchup against Ole Miss. There were some creaky moments early, but the Tide found a way to win.
Well, the Crimson Tide got out of the gate a little bit slow, but they battled back. Some strong veteran play down the clutch, was able to get the win on the road in Oxford.
And it was really impressive to see Aaliyah Nye get that career-high 32 points. Zay Green had 27, but Ole Miss did have a lot of offensive rebounds. That'll be something to watch here tonight against South Carolina, and you see the difference, Nye and Green in the wins without Barker versus the loss at Texas.
Well, it's 1 man down with Sarah Ashley Barker, but it's next man up. And Aaliyah Nye and Zay Green had answered the bell. They've been shooting the ball very, very well, and at a high clip. They'll have to continue to do that today.
Well, on the other side, the vaunted South Carolina Gamecocks, number 2 in the country, and in the second of 5 straight games against top 25 opponents, and Dawn Staley wouldn't have it any other way. For more on that, let's check in with Nathan Brown.
Yeah, Gray, the strength of this South Carolina team is undoubtedly their depth. Anyone can get it going on any given night, most evident by their league-leading 42 points per game off the bench. That's more than their starting 5. Coach Dawn Staley said this advantage, allowing them to lean on one another and trust, is what has led them to being the 2nd-ranked team in the country coming into Tuscaloosa.
Exactly right. Thank you, Nathan. I mean, this is what South Carolina basketball is all about, depth, balance, and defense. And now we're ready to go in Coleman. The Tide will win the opening tip in the first ranked matchup in Tuscaloosa since 1999.
South Carolina coming in as the defending national champs.
And there's Nye. Alabama strikes first.
Really good execution by Alabama straight out of the gate. This is going to be a game that Alabama has to do a really good job of executing and being very well connected. The defensive intensity of South Carolina can really be imposing.
How about that defensive intensity from Essence Cody? You saw the starting 5 for South Carolina, but this is a team that will play a lot of people for Coach Dawn Staley.
Well, they wear you down. They have great positional size, and they play really well. And if you can keep them off the offensive glass and limit them on the offensive end to 1 shot, then the advantage goes a little bit back to your side.
Pow, pow, pull up 3. That's off the iron. Rebound Alabama. There you see the starting lineup for Christy Curry without Sarah Ashley Barker. 4th straight game that Barker has missed because of a lower leg injury. And now the Gamecocks are running. Pitts is blocked by Zay Green. And there's Cody with the rebound.
Spirited effort by Zay Green there on the defensive end.
Green for 3. Off the side, rebound Kitts. Loose ball picked up by Carly Weathers. She's going to do a lot of that tonight. She'll get in on the stat sheet in just about every way possible. Now in trouble. Collins, pull-up jumper. That's off the mark. Rebound Johnson.
You see a little peek of the defensive ability of South Carolina. Long and physical, doing a really good job of containing dribble penetration.
And the Gamecocks get their first points tonight with Sanaya Fagan, the senior.
A good shot there by Fagan at the high post. Caught the ball with a lot of confidence and stroked it.
Green against Johnson, a lot of contact, and that went out of bounds last touched by the Gamecocks as one of the best in the history of the game watches on. Dawn Staley, the head coach for the South Carolina Gamecocks, 17th year in Columbia, 3 national championships, 6 Final Fours in the last 9 trips to the NCAA tournament for the Gamecocks. Shot clock winding down. Weathers, open three. Off the iron, loose ball, and they'll say a foul will be called on Essence Cody, and that will not please Alabama's head coach, Christy Curry. 12th year in Tuscaloosa. She has really helped bring this program along. 3 NCAA tournament trips in the last 4 years, and looking for a big marquee moment tonight.
Well, Christy Curry has her team playing really good basketball. Back in the top 25, a position that Alabama women's basketball has not been in for some time, and they have a major opportunity here with the #2 team in the country.
Ooh, Collins tried to get the steal, but Pow gets the friendly roll, and the Gamecocks lead.
Great shot there by Te-Hina Pow taking advantage of Diana Collins as she gambled on that steal.
That's out of bounds. It'll stay on this end.
Special situations like baseline out of bounds are going to be important for Alabama. This is a tough defense they're playing with. You have to be able to manufacture easy buckets. And when you're taking the ball out under the goal, you got to do a good job of getting one.
Good pass by Green to Nye. Couldn't hit from 3. Rebound South Carolina. Kitts, the lob to Fagan. Nice post move, but couldn't get the finish. And then it's stolen by Pow against Nye. Layup good.
Excellent job there by Te-Hina Pow. She read that beautifully, anticipated the pass over to Zay Green from Aaliyah Nye, picked that off and got an easy deuce.
6 straight for the Gamecocks. Green can't answer. And that's out on Cody.
The great instincts there of Te-Hina Pow. Sold it as she was going back on defensive transition, kept her eye on it, picked off that pass, and got an easy layup. Those are the plays, if you're head coach Christy Curry, you can't be pleased with. You know you're playing a top team. You got to possess the ball and do a really good job of limiting your turnovers.
Now 10 on the shot clock. Kitts somehow came up with the basketball, and now she's got it back. Kitts, double clutch and got it to go.
Strong post up there by Chloe Kitts. Got great position down low and that strong turn to kiss it off the glass.
8 straight points for the visitors. Alabama has missed 6 straight shots. Green out to Weathers. Pull up is off, no good.
Alabama's got to settle down on the offensive end.
Beautiful feed to Kitts for the lay-in.
Excellent job by South Carolina getting out in transition. Chloe Kitts running the floor, and the recipient of a beautiful pass.
Timeout Christy Curry, a 10-0 run for the Gamecocks. A big reason why Chloe Kitts, South Carolina leads by 8 midway through the opening quarter. Well, both teams in this matchup tonight dealing with key injuries. South Carolina without Ashlyn Watkins, the junior from Columbia, McDonald's All-American, second-team All-SEC, out for the year with a knee injury. And on the other side for the Tide, Sarah Ashley Barker out for a 4th straight game after that play against the Florida Gators on January 2nd. One of the best scorers in the Southeastern Conference, now trying to lead the way on the bench for the Crimson Tide. And again, both teams trying to figure out life without a couple of their stars. And so far, Alabama not off to a great start tonight. South Carolina's played exceptionally without Watkins. And for more on that, let's check in with Nathan Brown.
Yeah, Gray, I talked to South Carolina point guard Raven Johnson before the game. I asked her what was she titled this season for South Carolina, and she said, "Do it for Ash." Johnson was notably outspoken about last season, calling it the revenge tour, but she said without Watkins this season, it only adds fuel to the fire for this South Carolina team as they try to repeat as champions for Watkins.
Thank you, Nathan. Now out of a timeout, Zay Green pull-up 3. That's off the mark, and a rebound by the Gamecocks.
Alabama has to do a much better job on the offensive end, as you can see with Joyce Edwards checking right into the game with a beautiful layup in transition. But the Tide has to do a much better job of executing an offensive set. They did a really good job on the opening set within the script of getting a clean layup. They have to get back to running their offense to getting a good shot for each other.
8 straight misses for the Alabama offense. Nye got that one in there. Finally is an end of a drought for Alabama. It's 12-4 South Carolina.
That's a good move there by Aaliyah Nye, getting to the turnaround jumper. You're going to have to get some stops on the defensive end.
Oh, beautiful cut by Fulwiley for the lay-in.
That was a beautiful dime that was made there by Sanaya Fagan. Put it right on the money, led her into the layup. Beautiful pass.
Ten on the shot clock for Green. Oh, found a way to get it to Weathers when she was in big trouble. Clock winding down. Weathers has to make a play. Couldn't get anything. Here comes Fagan.
Great defense by Joyce Edwards.
Johnson open for 3 off the iron. Rebound, Tessa Johnson. Fulwiley. Good defense by the Tide and picked up by Weathers. Green looking. There's Nye. Open 3. Alabama needed it.
That's a big shot for Alabama. Getting out in transition. Zay Green finding Aaliyah Nye. Nye been able to get some offense going, but the pace has to pick up for Alabama if it benefits them. If they allow South Carolina to set up shop in this half-court set, it's not going to work well for Alabama.
Turnover there by the Gamecocks. South Carolina, though, has had some really nice looks at the rim.
They have. And this pinpointed pass here, dropping the dime, Sanaya Fagan to Mylasia Fulwiley. Beautiful play. And then transition, Zay Green kicking it over to Aaliyah Nye. Cash money from the wing.
Nye down to Cunningham. Collins is open. She got it.
Shot by Diana Collins, recognizing that she was wide open. Gianna Cunningham with the assist. The production that will be needed from Diana Collins will be critical for Alabama to get it done in this game.
Extra pass for Wiley with the answer.
Beautiful basketball by South Carolina. Ball moved all from the left side to the right, all the way around the horn, back around to Fulwiley, and she knocks it down.
It's really the first time tonight the crowd's gotten into it. Nye for 3. And oh, Collins soared in to get the board and then threw it away. Numbers for the Gamecocks. Fulwiley, right side 3, too strong. And a whistle on the rebound attempt. And that'll be on Collins for Alabama.
Up and down pace. But Diana Collins begging for the ball as she's wide open. Catches it from the outside and lines it up with the beautiful stroke. And Mylasia Fulwiley with the excellent ball rotation by South Carolina, knocking down a tray ball.
And now a foul after that quick throw-in for the Gamecocks. That'll go against Zay Green, and we'll get our first real opportunity tonight to talk about one of the freshman stars in all of America, Joyce Edwards out of Camden, South Carolina, the National Gatorade Player of the Year last season. It's already been SEC Co-Freshman of the Week once this year, and a player, Richard, with such a bright future.
And a phenomenal talent, and checked right in this game and made her presence known, getting out in transition with a really good layup. And on the defensive end, she's a game changer. Versatility, great frame to finish in the post, immediately impactful.
And an 80% free throw shooter. She made them both, and the lead is 9 for the Gamecocks. Look at Lester going to work. The freshman too strong in the layup attempt. South Carolina will run with numbers again. For Wiley, no, there's a charge, and Aaliyah Nye took it to get possession back.
It's a good charge taken by Aaliyah Nye, but that's a situation where Mylasia Fulwiley has to hold that ball a little bit longer. They have numbers coming down in transition. You dropped it off to the big, a step too early. Make the defense come to you, drop off the dime, and get the easy layup.
Zay Green in traffic. That was short. Quickly ahead, Tessa Johnson. Nye was able to knock it out of the hands of the Gamecocks. It will stay here.
Tremendous effort by Leah Nye. Look at her tracking it down, reaches in and able to get the strip. Phenomenal.
Edwards had the size advantage, and she gets fouled. She'll head back to the line.
You see a little peek of the talent of the freshman, Joyce Edwards. Nice post move and dropping over the right shoulder to the middle with the left hand. Not coming up with the basket, but to the free throw line to shoot for 2.
First foul on Lester as Edwards makes the first free throw. Well, folks, coming up next on the SEC Network, we'll take you to the Pavilion in Oxford as Ole Miss hosts Florida and freshman phenom Liv McGill. That's coming up right after this on the SEC Network and the ESPN app.
Ole Miss looking to rebound after the loss to Alabama. Really good team on the defensive end. Liv McGill for Florida. Triple-double in the last outing against Mizzou. Should be a great game to watch.
Under a minute left in the first quarter. South Carolina's lead is 9. Dowda drives. Offensive foul.
And that's a textbook charge taken there by Carly Weathers. The secondary defender rotated over and was in position, waiting for the drive there. Takes it right in the chest from Marion Dowda. Beautiful take.
About a 4.5-second differential between the shot and game clock. Alabama looking for something before the end of the quarter. Shot clock at 5. Nye, open, off the side, rebound South Carolina. Johnson at the buzzer, just off. And that ends the first 10-minute stanza here in Coleman. South Carolina, number 2 in the country, up by 9 against number 19 Alabama. Don't go anywhere, folks. Second quarter is up next. As we get ready for quarter number 2, South Carolina leading Alabama 21-12 heading into the second 10-minute period. And it's time to check in with Nathan Brown courtside.
Yeah, great. Yesterday we saw that the NCAA announced that they will be participating in and advancing with the Division I Women's Basketball Championship financial rewards for their conference for those who are in the tournament and those who advance. Now, I talked to Coach Staley before the game, and she said she is pleased with this decision, but it's a decision that they feel is long overdue and is great for the game as it continues to advance.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, I loved when Coach Staley looked at us and said, it's about time. And this is something that women's basketball really needs. Coach Staley talked about the importance of this sport being revenue generating, and this is a nice step towards that happening. It'll start with the 2025 tournament and be distributed in 2026 for all the conferences. And certainly the SEC will have a lot of teams in the NCAA tournament this year as well. Both of these teams looking good, certainly for bids. South Carolina in the mix for a top seed. Right now, Alabama trying to claw back here in the opening minute of the second quarter.
It's a good stop for Alabama on the first possession. Offensively, you can see the defensive ability of South Carolina making it hard for Alabama to get a quality look.
It was a tough shot for Cody, and now here comes Tessa Johnson. Edwards, athletic move, but couldn't get the finish, and that's out of bounds off of Cody. And right now, Richard, the Gamecocks are owning the glass, and based off what we've seen this year, that margin might get better and better as this game goes on.
Yeah, they're dominating 18-6 on the rebounding margin at this point. Alabama's going to have to make sure they try to be a little bit more physical to match that intensity to get the rebounds. But it's the offensive rebound opportunities like that that gives South Carolina another crack at it that Alabama's going to have to shore up.
Say it was off of Cody. She and Joyce Edwards were going for the basketball, and you're exactly right. It resets the possession for the Gamecocks. Kitts, nice move, easy bucket.
That's a beautiful slip by Chloe Kitts. She ran over to the side as she was going to set the screen. As soon as she got positioned, she slipped out of there, and a nice dime to get the easy layup. Check out the footwork of Chloe Kitts as she's able to slip through that, get the pass, and catching it high and keeping it high before the defense gets over to contest.
Strong start to this game for the junior out of Florida. 6 points, 4 rebounds. And now defending Collins, who had to stop. Zay Green got around a defender and got the shot to go.
That's a good shot by Zay Green. She has a great ability to get downhill. Finally was able to get a crease, and there wasn't a secondary defender in her face. Good finish for Zay Green.
First points tonight for the Alabama point guard. Fagan on the other end. 3 is no good. There's Kitts. Chloe Kitts couldn't get the putback, and it's out of bounds off of Alabama.
There's the rebounding once again for South Carolina, the activity of Chloe Kitts, but Zay Green on the other end with the beautiful move, the pump fake to go over top of the secondary defender. Outstanding shot by Zay Green.
Off balance, that shot is no good, but there's a foul down low.
This is the relentless ability of South Carolina to pound the offensive glass. Chloe Kitts putting pressure on Alabama, draws a foul, and another offensive opportunity for South Carolina.
Fulwiley, look at her maneuver, so good in Belane.
Such a shifty player, crafty when she gets in the paint. Beautiful finish.
Green to Cody, and she's fouled. She'll head to the line.
Essence Cody set up that last action with an outstanding screen. That screen was able to create a little bit of space for her to get freed up to go to the basket. Zay Green with the dime. That's one right there if you're Alabama. For the sake of the rhythm, you want to hope that Essence Cody can catch that pass cleanly and finish it with the layup and potentially get an and one. Baskets are tough to come by, so the concentration, the details on cutting has to be intensified to capitalize when you have the moment.
She capitalizes at the line with a pair of free throws. It's back to a 9-point game. That foul was the first on Fagan.
Alabama switching up defenses.
Open 3 missed by Hall. There's Kitts on the glass again. That's been the story of this first half.
Yes, it has. Chloe Kitts, phenomenal on the glass. 6 rebounds already to go along with 8 points. It's been a difference maker.
South Carolina, 11 offensive rebounds. Alabama, 6 rebounds total.
What's the 10 second chance points that South Carolina has to Alabama's 0 that's been a difference in this game?
There's Nye with the answer.
And the buckets are hard to come by for Alabama. Each one has been off of strong individual efforts. You have to work the offense and see if you can get something freed up within the integrity of what you're trying to do.
Nice rebound by the freshman Eris Lester to make that a one-shot trip for the Gamecocks. Feed to Cody, left block and one.
There it is, right on cue. They're using that screen roll action. This time, the pass is on the money, and Essence Cody catches it cleanly, and she draws the foul for an and one. Diana Collins gets to the middle of the court, drops it right off to Essence Cody with a beautiful catch and finish, cutting into this South Carolina lead.
First foul on the senior Bree Hall, and back to Cody. Now 3 for 3 in this game from the stripe.
Free throw shooting will be important for Alabama. You don't want to leave the 3 points on the board in a game of this magnitude.
Fagan trying to create space. Now it's loose and picked up by the Tide. And a foul is called on the Gamecocks.
Alabama starting to get a little bit of energy from the building. A surge mounting. The defensive end as the ball's dribbled out the foot. And the foul there drawn by Eris Lester.
Foul was on Johnson. By the way, Zay Green off the floor because a few moments ago she picked up her second foul. We'll see if Christy Curry decides to bring her in off the bench at some point before the half or has her sit until the third. Collins says, I'll take care of it myself.
That's a huge move right there by Diana Collins. Strong drive, the left-hand finish.
A little bit of a wild shot from Fulwiley. South Carolina got it back, and now a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Tide, but Christy Curry is not pleased about that call.
She believes it has to be a foul call, but fortunately for Alabama, still coming up with the ball with the possession arrow on the jump ball. But those are moments right there that you're frustrated with your team not getting a foul call, but the rebounds are something that Alabama has to do a much better job of boxing out and securing them and then getting off to the transition.
See the rebounding numbers right there. South Carolina with a big edge. Lester, corner three, too strong.
Not a strong part of Eris Lester's game. Normally a strong driver, but a clean look in the corner. Want to have that one back. South Carolina's drawing the foul.
And now Powell will head to the line after the foul called on the freshman Chloe Spreen. And Zay Green will come back in with those two fouls.
You know, it's a good move putting Zay Green. This is a veteran back into the game. So much collegiate experience, and you're going to need her. You're down without Sarah Ashley Barker. You need the point production and the poise. Zay Green will have to make sure she plays without fouling, as she's so important in a game of this magnitude.
2-for-2 trip for Te-Hina Powell, the All-American. Lead back up to 6 for South Carolina. To Cody. Off balance, couldn't get it. Fulwiley will run. Fulwiley. Beautiful navigation all the way to the rack.
She eased her way on the coast to coast. Wow, beautiful move by Malaysia Fulwiley.
9 points for Fulwiley off the bench. Weathers. And they'll give it to South Carolina. Weathers dribbled it out of bounds. And there's a timeout on the floor. Fulwiley feeling it for the Gamecocks, Richard.
The smooth moves of Malaysia Fulwiley with the end-to-end finish in the paint. South Carolina up early.
A lot of folks enjoying the first ranked matchup in Tuscaloosa in women's basketball since 1999. South Carolina leading Alabama 31-23 midway through the second quarter. And how we got here, well, South Carolina shot extremely well to start. Things have evened up since, but really, Richard, rebounding and second chance points stick out on this graphic.
It's been the difference in this game. Alabama has not been able to close out their defensive possessions with a strong rebound, and Alabama with the South Carolina with the multiple attempts on each possession has been huge. They'll have to make sure they do a much better job on the box out, but on the defensive end, it's South Carolina. Their stingy defense, the ability to switch and rebound has made things difficult for Alabama.
Chloe Kitts has been great, 8.6 rebounds. And Christy Curry right now trying to figure out a way to get a little bit closer before halftime. Again, no Sarah Ashley Barker tonight for the Tide.
Alabama's showing a little bit of extended pressure coming out of the break.
Edwards got the friendly roll.
And Alabama showed a zone right there in that last possession. And Edwards caught that ball right in the high post and busted it. Great recognition by the freshman when she had the shot at the elbow to knock it down.
Nye driving on Powell. Nice take, too strong. Out of bounds off the Gamecocks. Glad you're with us here in Tuscaloosa. Number 2, South Carolina. Number 19, Alabama. Gray Robertson, Richard Hendricks, Nathan Brown. Nice feed to Cody. She tipped it to herself and got the finish and the foul.
Alabama's been able to find some things in the screen roll action with Essence Cody. She fumbled a few passes early, but has started to catch her rhythm here in finishing. Great tip to herself and concentration. The hand-eye coordination, elite.
Correction, fouls against number 8, Joyce Edwards.
And that is the second foul on Edwards, who will have to check out. Again, very deep South Carolina team, but Edwards, one of those scorers averaging north of 11 points per game. First miss from the line for Alabama and for Cody tonight. Rebound Kits.
And Alabama still electing to show a little pressure after the missed free throw. They showed zone on the last possession, dropping back into man-to-man.
A lot of space for Fulwiley. And the size advantage down low. Now McDaniel dancing. McDaniel is fouled.
Crafty dribbling by Maddie McDaniel. Able to free herself up and get all the way to the rim, drawing the foul.
Maddie McDaniel at the free throw line, shooting 2.
North of 73% from the stripe this year. The freshman out of Maryland. One of the 10 McDonald's All-Americans on the South Carolina roster.
Well, this is South Carolina that's so deep. You can be a McDonald's All-American, and obviously you find yourself in a reserve role, but McDaniel stepping right in the game and making her presence known.
First miss of a night from the line for South Carolina. Shot clock at 10 for Green. Shot clock at 3 for Collins. Got to get a shot up. It was short. And a rebound by Dowda.
Good defense by South Carolina.
Dowda against Cody. Couldn't get it. And the rebound is tipped to Essence Cody.
Rebounds are still not coming clean to Alabama. It's important to pull clean rebounds so you can get off in transition.
Kits impacted that pass. South Carolina's got it with numbers. 2-on-1. Pow-Pow, Fulwiley. What a pass! And Pow-Pow finishes.
Wow. You see the saucy work of Malaysia Fulwiley. The give and go and dropped off the behind the back dime.
Whew. Saucy is right. Gamecocks up 11. Nice turnaround jumper. That was well defended and out of bounds. My gracious, somebody call SportsCenter. This was a beautiful 2-on-1.
Well, Malaysia Fulwiley, a highlight waiting to happen. South Carolina hustling and coming out in transition. The give and go, and Fulwiley behind the back. Beautiful in the finish by Pow-Pow.
Pow-Pow for 3. Short. And Weathers got there before Kits.
Now, this is a big possession right here. You got 2 minutes to go in the half for Alabama. You have to make sure you get a quality look to cut into this lead.
Oh, Green got fouled on her way into the lane. And she'll be shooting. That's the 5th team foul on the Gamecocks.
Tessa Johnson takes in for the Gamecocks.
Zay Green tripped up on her way to the basket.
Zay Green at the free throw line for Alabama, shooting 2.
And Alabama's been able to show some things defensively that's been able to work, putting some pressure on South Carolina, creating a couple of turnovers, dropping back in the zone. The 2 free throws can allow them to set up their press, which has been effective.
The first is no good by Zay Green, graduate student playing in her 7th year of basketball at her 4th school. Just over 65% from the line on the year. And she makes the second. Tessa Johnson, pull up J, perfect.
It's a beautiful stop and pop there by Tessa Johnson. Great deceleration and rising up over the top for that J.
Zay Green against Pow-Pow, creating space off the mark. Kits ran the floor well, but her shot was blocked by Green.
The 6'2" Zay Green The outstanding defensive work.
And against the Gamecocks, 21, Chloe Gibbs. That's her first.
The length of Zay Green going up high with the rejection on Kitts. Beautiful work. Foul on the Gamecocks. And Alabama go to the free throw line to shoot on the other end.
That was on Kitts. That's her first. And you mentioned it earlier, Richard. Free throw shooting important tonight and not something Alabama has done very well this year. Currently sitting at 14th in the SEC in free throw percentage.
Well, in a game when you know you're playing a top team who can defend so well, you don't get too many clean looks. And when you get them, you obviously have to make them count, because it's going to be hard to come for more clean looks in a game of this such.
Big 2-for-2 trip for Weathers. Back to a 10-point game.
Into the game for the Crimson Tide, replacing Zay Green.
And Zay Green will check out with those 2 fouls. Little offense for defense as Lester comes in. One minute left here in the first half. And an offensive foul on the Gamecocks.
A good defensive stand for Alabama on the last possession. Solid. Seemed to confuse a little bit of South Carolina of getting into the paint. But there's the foul there, as Dowda was able to roll into Collins, not being stationary on her screen.
Green is back in, and she'll attack and take all the way.
Really good take to take advantage of a 2-for-1 opportunity for Alabama. A stop will be huge.
Johnson to Dowda for 3. No. Rebound, Zay Green.
It's a possession where Alabama can hold it for the last shot. The substitution of putting Zay Green back in for offense has paid off with the 2-for-1 opportunity.
Yeah, this can essentially be the final shot of this first half, and Green will wait. Shot clock winding down. Nye will have to put something up. Couldn't hit, and Azuma, who checked in, could not get the putback to go before time expired. South Carolina up by 8 on the road against number 19 Alabama. Fulwiley, Pow, Kitts, Edwards, they've all found balanced scoring in the first half. And the number 2 Gamecocks will go into the locker room leading by 8 on the road here in Coleman Coliseum, and Alabama will try and claw back in the second half once we get there. But the Gamecocks are up 8, and Nathan Brown is with Dawn Staley.
Coach, when we talked before the game, you talked about their presence from 3. You were able to handle that. How would you say about their points in the paint, though?
It's an SEC team. You take one thing away, other stuff picks up. We'll got to make some adjustments, and hopefully we can control the paint.
Now, you also talked about Essence Cody's performance, her body, the type of threat that she poses. 9 points in the first half. How would you match up with her?
I mean, we got to do a better job. I think we got cross-matched a little bit. So the ideal person that we would want on her wasn't on her, and she made us pay.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Nathan Brown. Thank you, Dawn Staley. What a first half here in Coleman. Gamecocks up by 8, and maybe the play of the night already, Richard. My goodness.
Behind the back, beautiful dime. High-level basketball here in Tuscaloosa.
Halftime coming up when you come back. Here courtside in Coleman Coliseum as fans watch on, and they've seen the Alabama defense make some plays, Richard, in the first half.
So they've been doing a really good job of helping each other, and the plays have resulted in ending some baskets on the other end. And it's going to have to be a lot more on the defensive end for the Tide to match the defensive level of the Gamecocks.
Yeah, there have been plays, but rebounding has been an issue for the Tide. South Carolina offensively has gotten a lot of good looks.
They have, and it's because they've been able to execute with their screen roll action, backdoor cuts, slipping, and being unselfish with the ball. South Carolina's been playing high-level basketball, and 20 more minutes of action of this one.
As we get ready for the third quarter, Nathan Brown is standing by with Christy Curry.
Yeah, Coach, you gave up 11 offensive rebounds in the first half. How would you assess your effort on the defensive glass?
Well, we've got to do a better job, you know, and a lot of those came because we were mismatched in transition, and we've got to do a better job of being more physical. They're more physical than we are right now, and we got to box out.
Now, you made a run in the second quarter. How do you sustain those runs and take the lead back? What was the message coming out of the locker room?
You know, we missed a lot of shots in the first, and I thought we got some good shots. You know, I thought in the second we were able to move the ball, have the ball change sides of the floor, and have multiple efforts offensively. You've got to make them guard multiple efforts. So we'll do a better job here in the third, hopefully.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Nathan Brown. Christy Curry going back with her team ahead of the second half. A team that is missing Sarah Ashley Barker, looking to get a little more from the bench here in this game if they can. South Carolina has no issues with bench scoring. This is one of the best bench scoring teams in all of America.
But they've done a great job tonight. 20-0 off the bench against Alabama. They come at you in waves, and it's not just the offensive production, it's the defensive end in which the players off the bench are able to make a difference.
Well, we're underway here in the third quarter. South Carolina got off to a great start in the first quarter. And Pow Pow trying to do the same to Johnson. Corner three. There's Kitts on the glass. Back to Kitts. Chloe Kitts. Another friendly roll for the visitors.
Well, South Carolina has found an advantage of pounding the offensive glass, and Chloe Kitts has been active all night long. That possession gave them a second crack at it, and the beautiful fadeaway was big time.
Cody off the mark, rebound Kitts. She's been everywhere on the glass. That's now 9 rebounds in this game. On the shot clock for Johnson. Fagan, easy from the right block.
That's beautiful work right there. Great offensive execution for South Carolina, and that was set up with that beautiful entry pass by Chloe Kitts. She improved the passing angle, put it on the deck, and a great pass, Fagan finishing.
Alabama looking for an answer, down by 12. Weathers. Shot clock again, winding down. Green had it poked away. She'll have to hurry. Long three, that's short, and a great defensive possession by the Gamecocks.
The Gamecocks have turned up the defensive intensity a notch.
Pow Pow, step back three. Off the iron, rebound tip to Green. Alabama wants to run. Weathers, open three, got it.
And this is what Alabama wants to do. Zay Green getting that ball out in transition, gets the pace of the game going the way Alabama wants to play. Carly Weathers, a good shooter, had the option to swing it to 9 in the corner, but elected to stroke it herself.
Pow Pow will return the favor from deep.
Beautiful shot by Te-Hina Pow Pow, and head coach Christy Curry of Alabama has to talk about it.
Timeout Tide. South Carolina, after a Weathers three for Alabama, got one from Pow Pow, one of the best sharpshooters in the country, and the Gamecocks lead by 12.
It's a great thing to see coaches always giving back to the game with young assistant coaches. This summer, head coach Don Staley participated in the Coaches Opportunity Conference, where you were helping assistant coaches to learn the growth of the game to be leaders in the head coaching game. You look at head coach and assistant coach from Alabama women's basketball staff, Pauline Love, learning from some of the best coaches in the SEC. Head coach Nick Saban was a speaker on the panel, giving tons of information from aspiring head coaches in the SEC.
And there you see Alabama assistant Pauline Love in her first year in Tuscaloosa after 7 on staff at Arkansas, joining this program for Alabama that's reached the NCAA tournament 3 times in the last 4 seasons. And Richard, don't think I missed you in the background of that picture with Dawn Staley. How fun was it to moderate that event?
Well, a lot of fun and a lot of knowledge and wisdom shared by some of the great leaders of the game. Assistant coach Winston Gandy of South Carolina was also in attendance. It speaks of what this conference tries to do to grow the game and propel the future of the game as far as leadership from their coaches.
We'll see if Alabama's coaching staff has found something after that timeout. South Carolina up 12. This matches the largest lead of the game. Green had that blocked and knocked out of bounds by Fagan. And check that, though. Give it to South Carolina, although we'll see. Yes, it will stay on this end.
So Fagan having a little laugh as she knew that the ball went out of bounds on her, but she would take it as they corrected the call. Baseline out of bounds opportunity for Alabama.
Nye trying to get free. Nice pass to Cody.
Now, Alabama has been able to execute their screen roll action very well with Essence Cody. I'll look to see if the adjustment will be made by South Carolina. The big is staying in the middle and giving Alabama options with the shooter and with Cody over the top.
11 points in this game for Cody to lead the way for the Tide. And now a foul on this end. It's on Nye after this bucket from Cody.
South Carolina's in drop coverage with their bigs and in no man's land. And there's the pinpointed pass right over the top of Fagan. Cody with another deuce.
Now a little discussion. Shot clock reset to 20 after the foul. Kitts has been a menace for the Gamecocks all game long, but that time she walked.
And a miscue for Chloe Kitts. Been so effective tonight, but shuffling the feet on that step through.
Weathers. And Zay Green had stepped out of bounds when she caught that pass.
The unforced errors, those are the things that drive coaches crazy. You have an opportunity to cut into this lead, get it under 10, stepping on the sideline. Tough break for the Tide.
South Carolina does so many things right. You certainly don't want to help them in any way if you're Alabama. Kitts to Fagan. That's how you do it.
That was a phenomenal offensive set for South Carolina. The ball was moved around the court from side to side. So much patience until they found the best shot and a beautiful high-low look to Fagan.
Collins is blocked. The ball is loose and picked up by Sanaya Fagan. Hall. That was stopped by Cody. Nye on the drive, blocked and fouled.
Against the Gamecocks. For second,
Alabama can get a little bit of advantage when they can get out and running, and they're able to do so with this excellent block here from Essence Cody coming over from the weak side. Aaliyah Nye coming down in transition, takes the foul to the line to shoot for 2.
Second foul on Fagan and a miss by Nye. On a team that has struggled from the line, Nye has been by far the most consistent free throw shooter, but 0 for 1 on this trip for the Tide. She'll make the second. Hazuma is in defending Fagan, and well defended on that play. It's out of bounds to Alabama.
And she was able to create the turnover by pushing the offensive player off the post, making that pass a little bit more difficult.
Green. And that'll stay on this side.
Benedict Engel checks in for the Gamecocks, replacing Te-Hina.
On to Lester. Nice kick. Aaliyah for three. Off the back iron. Azuma tips it out, and Green will collect.
That was great defense by South Carolina, but better offensive execution for Alabama to get a clean look. Just not able to knock it down.
Oh, Green spin cycle for the shot.
Beautiful move by Zay Green, taking her time. The spin move freed it up, and the nice soft touch.
Fulwiley couldn't hit from deep. Little momentum in the building for Alabama. Can they connect on this possession? Nye in the lane, couldn't get the roll, and Fulwiley gets the board. And then Fulwiley and Nye collide. That foul is called on Aaliyah Nye, and that'll send us to break. But man, oh man, Zay Green working some magic in the lane, partner.
Well, she's so shifty when she gets downhill, but here she is with the beautiful head fake, get some space into the patented spin move in the middle of the paint. Beautiful move by Zay Green.
Midway through the third quarter here at Coleman Coliseum, South Carolina leading Alabama 47-38 on a special night in Tuscaloosa. And for more on that, let's check in with Nathan Brown.
Yeah, Gray, over the summer, the University of Alabama Athletic Department lost a fellow co-worker in Tim Johnson. Johnson served as the former Associate Director of Ticketing and worked very closely with this Alabama women's basketball team. They've honored him with the TLJ patches on warm-up shirts and also provided custom shoes to the athletic department. His family was recognized before the game's festivities today, and he will be remembered for his positivity and always pouring so much into this Alabama women's basketball program.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nathan. It was a really powerful moment in pregame with the Johnson family out with Coach Curry. And so cool to see the Johnsons here as Alabama women's basketball honors Tim Johnson, who was such a valued member of the athletic department here in Tuscaloosa, worked with women's basketball and a few other teams on campus as well. And again, what a gesture by this program to honor Tim all season long.
Beautiful gesture by Alabama women's basketball. Shows how much of the family atmosphere that they have.
Now out of a timeout, Alabama forces a turnover, and then McDaniel almost got it right back, but it will go to the Tide.
Good effort there by Maddie McDaniel. It was going to be an easy 2 points on the other end after the steal from Essence Cody. This allows South Carolina to set up their half-court defense, which has been very, very effective all night long.
Green with Cody and Azuma on the court together. Look at Cody going to work, making space, hello!
That was a high-level move by Essence Cody. Nimble on her feet, and a beautiful left-hand finish.
She hit the deck, so she had to hurry back. Now Tessa Johnson's open, that's off. South Carolina has struggled from three all night, and here comes Green.
It's a big opportunity for Alabama on this possession.
Cody, why not? Off the back, there's Azuma. Weathers, things opened up, and then she had it poked away. And it will stay on this side with 11 on the shot clock.
You know, Essence Cody is capable of hitting that three-pointer. I don't mind that look from her, especially after she found the rhythm of the last move with the drop step, spin move with the left hand. Tough spot to inbound the ball here for Alabama.
Weathers found Green, who finds Cody. Corner three, too strong. Fulwiley, she's been great in transition, and she gets fouled there.
Great recognition by Malaysia Fulwiley to recognize the slow transition break. She had an alley where she could get all the way to the basket and took advantage of it.
Shooting two.
And the first is good for the sophomore. Saturday afternoon, we have a men's basketball quadruple header over on the SEC Network that starts at 1 Eastern. But we're featuring these games. Chaz Lanier at number 6, Tennessee, will host Vandy at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central, followed by Arkansas and Missouri at Mizzou Arena in Columbia. Should be another great afternoon of hoops. And of course, lots in the evening as well in this very deep conference. And there's an offensive foul on Cody. Send it back to the Gamecocks.
Some possessions of this such for Alabama. The 2 missed 3-pointers. The turnover without getting a shot attempt up. These are the moments that South Carolina will seize to try to extend their lead at this point in the game.
That's really good defense by Cody, and Pow lost it out of bounds.
In essence, Cody did a good job of sliding over, putting her foot on the baseline and not giving Te-Hina Pow anywhere to go. Loses the handle, ball back to Alabama.
Green. Nye cutting, rejected by Edwards.
That was a great job by Edwards to block that shot. But if you're Azuma, you want to hold your seal to help out the driver in Nye as she's going to the basket. She released, which allowed Joyce Edwards to slide over and block that shot. Great tenacity by Edwards to stay with it.
Cody checks out with Collins back on the court now. 3 minutes left here in the third. Nye's open for 3. Off the back, Azuma fighting for it, and it's collected by Fagan. Loose ball picked up, Fulwiley. Edwards, no, rebound Green.
Field goals tough to come by for both of these squads in the last few possessions.
Green on the drive. Off the iron, Azuma's been everywhere on the offensive glass, and she checked in. Weathers, a chance, short. Collins, put that good.
Great effort by Alabama, having created by Christabel. Azuma getting another opportunity for Alabama. Diana Collins, Johnny on the spot with the putback.
Since Azuma checked in, 3 offensive rebounds in just 5 minutes.
Well, that's what she does.
Weathers got the steal. Weathers in the lane. It's a 5-point game.
Phenomenal steal by Carly Weathers. Telegraphed pass on the skip pass. Weathers was able to get a beat on it. Took her time in transition. Comes up with the easy layup.
Pow in the lane. Long 3, Johnson. Oh, that is big time from Tessa Johnson.
Huge shot by Tessa Johnson. South Carolina was struggling to find a field goal, and Tessa Johnson rises up and knocks down a contested J.
Back to an 8-point game. Nye on the attack. Whistle, and Nye will head to the line after the foul on the Gamecocks. Weathers with a big-time play, Richard.
Yeah, she stole it, picked it off, and then came down and took her time, getting to her sweet spot over the left shoulder, the jump hook. But it's this contested tray by Tessa Johnson. A huge shot for South Carolina when they needed it most.
And that's one of those intangibles that makes the South Carolina team so special, because it was a 5-point game. Coleman was probably as loud as it's been all night, and then boom, Tessa Johnson, big 3.
Well, this team is battle tested. They play with a calm demeanor. They trust each other so well, and it can come from anyone on this entire roster. They needed a big time play, and that was the moment that Tessa Johnson was able to knock one down.
Well, a couple knocked down by Nye at the line. And 1 minute left here in the third quarter. Pow against Cody. Johnson, corner 3, no good.
Alabama doing a really good job of being in the gaps on that defensive stand. Fortunate Raven Johnson able to miss that 3.
Oh, and Cody got bailed out there. That was deflected off of a Gamecock. It'll stay with Alabama.
Chloe hits in for South Carolina.
Head coach Christy Curry is electing to look to get Zay Green back into the game.
Zay Green in for Alabama, replacing Christabel Azuma.
Azuma out, Green back in. Feed to Cody on the block.
That's a beautiful design play. And head coach Christy Curry is trying to get this crowd on their feet. They had all of the perimeter players lifted, giving Essence Cody a lane all by herself one-on-one. She did a great job getting a seal, and they delivered.
Shot clock off for the Gamecocks. To Edwards. Back to a 6-point game.
Beautiful basket by South Carolina.
Gotta hurry. Weathers, didn't take the shot, and that's how the quarter ends. But Alabama, a nice little run to cap off the third. And it's a 6-point lead for the Gamecocks.
Well, Alabama wins the third quarter. It's due to big plays like that, when a great steal by Essence Cody to make this a 6-point ball game going to the fourth.
Off to the fourth quarter here in Tuscaloosa. South Carolina 54, Alabama 48. The second-ranked Gamecocks with a program that has seen so much sustained success the last decade plus, Richard. This is a team that's won 3 titles under head coach Dawn Staley and been a threat pretty much since she got there.
Well, Dawn Staley has established a winning culture at South Carolina. So many high-level players have bought in to playing unselfishly, and it's resulted in championships.
Including the national championship last year over Caitlin Clark in Iowa. But tonight, the Crimson Tide has proven tricky, and Alabama trying to do something for the first time in 28 years. In fact, it was 28 years ago yesterday that the Tide last beat an AP Top 5 team. That was a 4-point win at Georgia in 1997. And Richard, Alabama's given themselves a shot because of how they finished up that third quarter.
Well, they were able to get a win in the third quarter, and Essence Cody played a huge role in it. Her physicality down low on both ends, 15 points so far in the game. She stepped up big time. She'll need a huge fourth quarter to get it done against a tough Gamecock team.
Cody put that one up, no good. 15 points tonight for the sophomore.
And that shot's credit to the defensive effort of South Carolina's guards. They were denying all over the court, and Cody had no choice but to shoot the three-pointer.
Size advantage for Edwards. Look at her go to work.
Beautiful move, great balance by Joyce Edwards, turning over her right shoulder. Phenomenal work in the low post.
Down to Cody. Had it stripped out of bounds.
Great hands there by Tessa Johnson. The defense is picking up. If you look at Raven Johnson doing all she can to deny Zay Green the basketball. And that's going to be a big-time matchup in the fourth quarter.
And on the shot clock for Green. Created contact, couldn't get the finish. It's been a tough shooting night tonight for Zay Green. Now 3 of 13 from the floor. Offensive foul.
Offensive foul against South Carolina. Tessa Johnson, her first. Team foul number 1.
The secondary defender, Aaliyah Nye, taking it in the chest on the drive from Johnson. Alabama's been sacrificing their body all night long.
Weathers lost her footing, somehow got it to Collins. Green will pull. She'll hit!
That is a tough move right there by Zay Green. That jab step ball fake shook the defender loose, and she was able to get enough space to knock down the tray ball.
See if the Gamecocks create for Edwards again. From the free throw line. Couldn't get the roll. Loose ball taken by the Gamecocks.
50-50 balls for South Carolina have been a difference maker.
Shot clock at 5. Hall looking for Kitts. Now she'll drive and get fouled. Bree Hall to the line.
Well, against the Crimson Tide, 22, Charlie Withers the first, team foul number 1.
Zay Green with this jab step ball fake and knocking down the 3 ball. That was a big basket for Alabama. Alabama has really been able to play South Carolina pretty even outside the first 5 minutes of this ball game. The difference was made with the tone that South Carolina was able to make with the offensive rebounding and getting on the offensive glass with second chance points. But Alabama has been able to close the gap with the second chance points in the game, and it's been able to help them get back in it.
Gamecocks are making free throws tonight too. 11 of 12 in this game after a pair made by Bree Hall. Cody thought about the corner. Wild shot, no good. Gamecocks have numbers. Kitts. Offensive foul. What defense from Aaliyah Nye.
A savvy defensive player. You have size barreling down on you. Kitts so graceful in her movements, but look at Nye. Takes it right in the chest, sizes it up. Offensive foul. Beautiful work by Aaliyah Nye.
Green on the take. Nice.
That's good work by Alabama. When they go that screen roll action with Zay Green and Aaliyah Nye, it puts South Carolina in a compromising situation. You got a shooter and a downhill driver with advantages all over the court.
A turnover by Johnson, and Azuma just grabbed it out of the air. Weathers shot fake to Azuma, and a whistle.
Excellent fundamentals by Carly Weathers, catching that ball, using her shot fake to put it on the deck and find Christabel Azuma. But here's Zay Green. Strong right-hand drive all the way to the basket, and there's that pass off to Azuma. She'll draw the foul and go to the free throw line, shooting 2.
Graduate student out of Sugar Hill, Georgia, a transfer from Campbell, has struggled from the line this year, under 50%. Short on the first.
Azuma, a strong offensive rebounder, screener, roller. That's her role on this team, on the defensive end.
Missed the second. Nice shot by Edwards, collecting that wild pass. And the freshman will go to the line after the foul.
Yes, it was. You see the hands on that catch. Pass looked as if it was headed out of bounds, but Joyce Edwards, the skill set, unbelievable reach as she was able to corral that ball and gather herself to get it up on the boards for a foul.
Edwards 4 of 4 from the stripe tonight, and now 5 of 5. Well, folks, we have a Friday Night Heights doubleheader for you tomorrow night over on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Arkansas and Auburn get us started at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, and then it's #1 Oklahoma hosting Missouri at the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman. Should be a great night for gymnastics. Always a lot of fun checking out Friday Night Heights on the SEC Network.
Yes, it is. Unbelievable to watch what they're able to do in gymnastics. So much ability, fun to watch.
South Carolina trying to keep the Tide at a distance. Oh, Fagan said absolutely not.
Not in her house. Beautiful block.
This feels like a monumental possession for South Carolina.
Mismatch down low with Edwards.
Raven Johnson. No good. Fagan cleans up.
South Carolina getting back to pounding the offensive glass. That was what the recipe was early in this game that gave them the lead early on. Alabama's been able to play them even.
Green around the world, every part of the rim and down.
The touch of Zay Green.
And now a foul down low, and if that's on Essence Cody, that's number 4.
Alabama's Essence Cody, team foul number 3.
Look at this beautiful athletic ability. Fagan going up top with the rejection. Wow. Battling on the boards. 2 big plays by Fagan have been a big difference here in the 4th.
And Christy Curry will call timeout. South Carolina 62, Alabama 55. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got a heck of a finish coming up on the other side. Well, Richard, we've seen both teams play great defense here tonight.
Well, they've been dialed in on the defensive end. They've been heavy in the gaps, not allowing easy penetration to the basket, contesting shots up high, rotating and picking off balls in the passing lanes. It's been fun to watch from a defensive end, but it's going to be over the last 5 minutes to see who can stand.
And on the other side, South Carolina, you expect great defense from the Gamecocks.
Well, this is what they're known for. The program is built on defense. They have a length all over the court. They're physical in the paint. They rebound well, and when they're able to block shots, it makes it very difficult to get a clean look against the Gamecocks.
And you see the scoring way down for 2 of the tops in the SEC. And for more on both defenses in this game, let's go to Nathan Brown.
Yeah, great. I was in that last huddle for Alabama. Coach Curry electing to stay with Essence Cody in the game with her 4th foul. You've seen how pivotal she's been in this game. She looked at her and said, stay aggressive. You're staying out there. This is Alabama's chance, is what Curry said.
5:25 left. A 7-point lead for the Gamecocks.
She's absolutely right. But if I'm South Carolina, I'm going to attack Cody with 4 fouls, as she's been a big piece of what Alabama's been able to do in the defensive end.
Drive by Hall. Blocking foul this time.
And Nye late to rotate over in the restricted area, and good strategy for South Carolina to bring Essence Cody into the pick and roll action. Able to turn the corner. You don't have any rim protection at the rim. And now South Carolina is going to the free throw line, shooting 2.
They've been outstanding tonight. And this is a Gamecock team that entered this contest 4th overall in the league in all games in free throw shooting percentage, 1st in conference play, and they've continued that here tonight.
This is a game that Alabama has settled down. South Carolina got out of the gate 12-2 in the first 5 minutes by way of pounding the offensive glass and getting second chance opportunities. They're going to have to continue to play that tough level of defense in the end, because Alabama has started to figure some things out offensively.
Zay Green will go to the line for a couple free throws. 2nd foul on Hall. If you're just joining us, glad you're here. Where have you been? What a game this has turned out to be between number 2 and number 19. Gray Robertson, Richard Hendricks, Nathan Brown, and Coleman Coliseum.
If Alabama can hit this free throw, I would expect some pressure defensively.
No good by Green. That has been a little bit of an issue for the Tide tonight. Free throw shooting just over 62% in this game. Edwards. Joyce Edwards turning up the heat down low.
Had the size advantage in the low post. So impressed with the skill level of Edwards. Reads the game well, plays with so much poise and maturity for a freshman.
16 points. Weathers had the pass picked by Fagan. Corner 3, short. Fagan fought for it, and the Gamecocks will get a 3 from Pow that's off, and then Edwards gets another chance.
These are the things that drive head coaches crazy. Ball watching on the three-point attempt instead of boxing out, and South Carolina gets another crack at it.
Open look again. Ball can't convert. It's still loose. And it'll head to Alabama.
Alabama extremely fortunate on that last possession. It starts to wear you down when you have to continue to play defense multiple times. Battling on the boards, and the correct call by the official as Fagan had a foot on the baseline out of bounds as she touched the ball.
Now a timeout called by Christy Curry, looking to find some points and find a way to shut down a very balanced, as per usual, South Carolina offense. Just so many weapons. It can be anybody any given night.
And that's the difficult part. When you play a balanced team, it's pick your poison. And the South Carolina team is so balanced, but they get it done in many ways. They can get out in transition. They have players who can get their point production without a play being drawn up for them by getting on the offensive glass. And when they're hitting shots from the outside, that really makes them a deadly team.
Then you think about some of the players who weren't on that graphic. Tessa Johnson, only 5 points tonight, but hit maybe one of the biggest shots for the Gamecocks in this game.
It absolutely was. A shot that kept the lead at bay and gave South Carolina the confidence to continue to extend their lead.
The Tide needs points. Just over 3 minutes left. Weathers will get it to Cody, who is begging for it. That's short, and Weathers cleans up. Zay Green, pull up three, short, and rebounded by South Carolina.
Possessions are going to be limited for Alabama. Down 10 with under 3 to go. They're going to have to speed up the pace.
Edwards again, 18 for the freshman.
So poised and collected on that dump off. Let the defender run by her until she was able to finish.
Offensive foul on Zay Green. Bree Hall took a shot right there.
Zay Green not getting set on that dribble handoff, setting the screen.
That is the fourth on Green. Alabama's trying to get Nye open. 1 of 6 from deep is Aaliyah Nye after a career-high 32 last time out against Ole Miss. Fulwiley got fouled, and she'll head to the line.
Good drive there by Malaysia Fulwiley. Recognized she had an advantage as the defense was lulled to sleep. Put a foot on the gas and was able to draw the foul.
Yeah, Malaysia Fulwiley at the line. South Carolina trying to continue a win streak of 51 straight games in the regular season against SEC opponents. The Tide trying to make history, a top 5 win for the first time since 1997. And this was really tight, tail end of the third, early fourth, but now the Gamecocks have found their largest lead of the game at 13.
And another offensive rebound for Edwards.
Edwards, oh, and one! The freshman has been spectacular tonight.
And she's come up big in the money time when South Carolina needed her most. The high-low action, and look at this pump fake. The hesitation to get the defense to jump in the air, and waits her time with outstanding patience to put in the easy bucket.
Zay Green is fouled out with 15 points. And now Joyce Edwards is looking for a new career high. She'll She'll get it. 21 points, 11 have come in this fourth quarter.
Stepped up big when he needed it the most.
Nye, right side three off the mark. Taken by Cunningham. Short, another chance. Got it.
Good effort there by Te-Hina Cunningham getting on the offensive glass. You know, this is a game that South Carolina has started to impose their will down the stretch. If you're Alabama, you're going to look at the tape and you're going to say the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of this game was the biggest difference. You had an advantage and played evenly against the #2 team in the country and shorthanded without your leader, Sarah Ashley Barker. But it's about how you start the game and how you finish. And the defending national champions know how to do that better than anyone else.
I was going to ask you, Richard, what does South Carolina take away from tonight? Because up until this point in conference play, it's been fairly uncomplicated. This was a 4-point game late in the third quarter, and the Gamecocks are going to win probably by double digits, but they were pushed tonight.
Well, they learned that obviously you're going to get everyone's best shot, and they have a tough stretch coming up with top 25 matchups in their next few games. And this is one of the first in the gauntlet that they have coming up against a tough Alabama team. But to get it done and only knock down 3 3-pointers in this game shows that they can do it in a variety of ways. The tenacity on the offensive boards, the defensive work has been huge for South Carolina. If they can get the outside shot going, then they're going to be even more dangerous.
That regular season win streak against SEC teams will go to 52. Travel will give it back to Alabama. And as you talked about, Richard, Gamecocks go from here to a home matchup against Oklahoma. And then game day is going to LSU, South Carolina very, very soon. That's next Thursday.
Yeah, tough matchups. I mean, you talk about the physical play of Oklahoma, Reagan Beers down low, Anissa Morrow at LSU and what she's able to do. And then you have a change of the pace playing against Tennessee and how they're going to press you and try to speed you up. This is a major test for South Carolina, but obviously if there's a team able to handle the challenge, it's going to be the Gamecocks.
Collins, short, Cunningham. Couldn't get the finish. And it'll stay on this side. Gamecocks turned up the heat in the fourth quarter to pull away from a feisty Alabama squad without Sarah Ashley Barker. But the #2 team in the country is flexing as this one finishes off in T-Town.
And that is exactly what they did down the stretch. This was a ball game that was very close, with about 6 to go. But South Carolina putting their foot on the gas down the stretch.
Last moments of this one. Weathers for 3, that's off the mark. And South Carolina continues domination in the SEC. An 18-point road win against number 19. And Dawn Staley has the machine going here in 2025.
Well, that last 5 minutes showed why South Carolina is the class of the SEC. They were able to turn it up when they needed to the most against a strong Alabama team that gave them all they needed for 35 minutes.
Behind a career-high 21 points from the freshman, Joyce Edwards. 11 of those points coming in the fourth quarter, an impressive capper by the freshman.
She made big plays in big moments, big time play by Joyce Edwards.
Dawn Staley thanking the many Gamecock fans who came to Tuscaloosa to cheer on her squad. South Carolina still undefeated in SEC play, 5-0 in the league and 17-1 overall. Big reason why was Joyce Edwards, and Nathan Brown is with her now. Nathan?
Yeah, Joyce, it seemed like every time that Alabama was able to get close, you came up with a key rebound or a key bucket. How does it feel on a team like this to be able to have that level of trust from your teammates and your coaches?
mean, I don't feel any type of pressure to do that. It's just something that we all do. I mean, everybody was attacking the glass. I was just the one who come up with it at the end of the day. And I know anybody on my team can get hot at any time. So today it was just me, but it is what it is. Happy to do it.
Today you had a career high, 21 points. What were you able to take advantage of on the offensive end?
We knew they were going to play a four-guard set. So, you know, the person who was guarding me was going to be a little smaller than me. So we just took advantage of that. My teammates really found me in a mismatch, and I just went to work.
Now they've called this 5-game stretch for you guys, the gauntlet. You get another win. How are you able to maintain this effort throughout the rest of the SEC play?
Just taking one game at a time.
Thank you, Joyce.
No problem.
Thank you, Joyce Edwards, and thank you, Nathan Brown. Richard, Joyce Edwards was so special at the end of this game.
You're exactly right. She took advantage of the mismatches in the high-low set all night long, and she made all the plays when they needed them.
52 straight regular season wins against SEC foes for the Gamecocks. That's all from Tuscaloosa, for my partner, the great Richard Hendricks, for Nathan Brown, courtside, and our entire fantastic, hardworking, amazing SEC Network crew. I'm Gray Robertson saying so long as South Carolina wins 76-58 over Alabama. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.